Good morning. All right, guys. So a couple people in the chat already. Thanks for stopping in. Tylux, Legion, Remy. Morning, guys. I gotta grab the link. I want to get through the shout outs and the update on the comic book community awards. Then I'll throw out the link and see if anybody wants to join, and we can chat this morning. So why don't we just get right to it? Get to the shout outs. Matt Spidey, good evening. You've been up late the last couple days, yesterday and today. DJ in the house, DJ Links. Lots of remix K Titus videos going on. Very good stuff. So a couple shout outs first for you guys this morning, and channels that I think maybe one that you're not familiar with. Six Face Comics. So you got to definitely check him out. Links are down below. He does a bunch of unboxings and spec buying on eBay. He's really got a really good channel. I think he's under 100 subs. I think the last time I checked, he was at like 86 subs. So definitely, guys, go check him out. Sub him up if you can. He definitely needs to. We need to get him to 100 and beyond. So definitely check out his channel. Next up, we have, and this Kyle has had some recent controversy with Something Is Killing the Children book. So a lot of stuff going on with Kyle, but Promiscuous Time Traveler. Check him out. Check out his YouTube channel. And he's got on Instagram, he has a document that he is updating with all of the comic book community channels in YouTube. He's updating it, basically a living document that people can add their channel and follow other channels. So definitely check out. And I have to update. I don't think I included his Instagram link down there. So I will add that so you can check that out, and then kind of catch up on if you're not aware of everything that's going on with the Whack Comics guys and Promiscuous Time Traveler Kyle, and the whole Something Is Killing the Children book controversy. You definitely need to check that out. At least get you updated to what a good chunk of the community is talking about. So. Oh yeah, I think right. You guys were talking about the big mystery box, right? Dorkeries, was it? Mystery box that had some really great books in it. So I think it went live. You guys were talking about that yesterday. It went live last night. And the final, I got two other channels I want to mention. Comic Journey. I'm surprised he's not here. He's usually driving somewhere in Long Island in the morning and shows us his dashboard. But Comic Journey, check out Comic Journey. He is definitely has an opinion about things in the comic book community and comic book collecting and bags and boards, and he's just a fun listen. I really like watching his channel, really just listening to his rants and it's not really even rants, it's more of his opinion. So definitely check out Comic Journey. I think he is under 200 subs. We definitely want to try to help him build up his subs as well. And then last but not least is Free Key Loowee. And I know most everybody who's here in the chat already know Free Key Loowee, but he is such a great creator. He kind of really spoofs a lot of music and Saturday Night Live skits. He does a Saturday Night Live type show usually every Saturday. He's producing a ton of skits on his own. He's in character, doing just a bunch of great stuff. So you definitely need to check him out. He's got his Free Key, series where he's showing off books that he's grabbed from the dollar bin. So you definitely need to check him out as well. So that was it for the shout outs this week. So Six Face Comics, Promiscuous Time Traveler, Comic Journey, and Free Key Loowee. Like I said, most of those channels are probably on your radar already, but definitely check them out. But definitely, Six Face is under, like I said, 100 subs. So definitely want to bump him up. So, yeah, Louis is just, I'm amazed at the amount of stuff that he produces. The pre-recorded skit video where he's in costume and he's, nailing different characters that we all know. So it's just, he's really, really great to watch. He is the man, and we got to get his sub numbers up too. So, morning, Jimmy. Thanks for stopping in. So those are the shout outs today. Links are down below. Want to talk a little bit about the Comic Book Community Awards. We're down to the last week today. Next Saturday marks the closing of the voting for the finalists in the 11 categories. So we have 1 week left. So this is your, kind of the home stretch to be able to vote for your favorite channels. Shop for Comics, good morning. So we're in the home stretch, 1 week left. And then it's closed, and then winners will be announced on Candy D-Man. Good morning. Winners will be announced on December 4th. It's a Saturday night. We're going to do a live stream at 9 p.m. Eastern to announce the winners of the 11 different categories. We'll have a winner in each. We have kind of a big show planned for that. It's not only going to be announcing the winners, although that's certainly important. We're going to have a lot of different content from other creators in the community. Hopefully some great, some great funny things that you guys enjoy. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I'll be scheduling that soon. But like I said, last week to really vote. So definitely get your votes in if you haven't already, or, let other people know where they can vote. I just posted the link to live to joining me if anybody wants to jump in. Like I said, I just really wanted to kind of get through the shout outs and then the Comic Book Community Award stuff. But certainly if anybody wants to jump in, let me know. Come join me. It is a cool Saturday morning here in New York. DJ, I'm sure if you looked outside or stepped outside, it's like mid-30s this morning, so a little chilly, but the sun is out, so it looks like it's going to be a nice day here. But yeah, looking forward. I can't believe that we're this close now. It's November already. We're about a month away from announcing the winners for the Comic Book Community Awards, and it seems like it started, kind of kicked off back in May, early June. So it seemed like that was a long time ago, but it also seems like the awards have gotten here really fast. So we're in the home stretch and looking forward to announcing the winners, and then hopefully moving, that everybody's obviously excited about the winners being announced, and then moving forward, making some changes for 2022 and the second year in the Comic Book Community Awards. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want to just kind of focus on the, wrapping up the voting and then the awards. So, I think that was really all the things I wanted to cover this morning. But definitely, if anybody wants to jump in, there's the link in the chat. Come join me, save me from talking for an hour. I try to keep these to about an hour, but depending on if I have company or not, I may not. So I have a bunch of reading that I need to do from the last week or two. I'm still trying to catch up. I've been really busy. Work has really seemed to be busy the last couple weeks. So I've fallen even further behind on my reading. Haven't watched Dune yet. I have to do that. Eternals is out. I haven't seen that yet. I want to go see that. I haven't even seen Venom. I wasn't so pushed to go see Venom because some of the reviews was like, it was, that it really wasn't good. I saw the first Venom and really didn't have big, high expectations for it. So certainly didn't have even bigger expectations for Venom 2, but I definitely need to go check that out. So I'm behind on my reading, behind on my watching. And I know a bunch of the community has been talking about some other shows. Stargirl, I think, just wrapped up season 2. Haven't watched that. Definitely want to check that out. I heard that is really a really good show. So I've got some stuff on my plate, but my head's been down on the comic book community awards. Want to stay focused on that. Still have some work to do. Like I said, last week of voting, and then getting prepped for the live show and announcing the winners. So. Yeah, I don't know. What about you guys? What do you guys what's everybody in the chat reading? And there he is. Kyle's up early this morning on the West Coast. So yeah, Tyler added you, did a shout out for you earlier. So I linked your YouTube channel. I'm going to link your Instagram as well. Want everybody to kind of check out the document, the Google Doc that you put together for channels, supporting the different channels, leaving their YouTube channel link. So I want to add that. I'll do that after I wrap up the live stream. So and mention your Something is Killing the Children book controversy. So I know I watched the promo video for it last night. I think there's a big live stream on Whack Comics on the 9th of November. So hopefully that wraps up the Something is Killing the Children saga there with your book. So yeah, I got to link your I can just link the link tree, but definitely want people to check that out to add their channel or find new channels. I haven't looked at that list in probably a week or so. I need to go back and see what's been added, so I can sub up any new channels that were added into that list. So Tylox, how did and I haven't seen it. How did the Spine Ticks show go last week, right? I think you were being officially being added to the Spine Ticks crew last week. I think there was some type of ceremony or initiation that was happening. So let us know about that. TM Nerdy, good morning. Station. Good morning. God. Yeah, glad everybody's jumping in this morning. Yeah. I'll drop if anybody wants to join me this morning, please. There's the link. Making sure. Oh, and here's Remy Q. I didn't even see him. There he is. Good morning, sir.
What's going on, baby? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I've got on a pink hat today. And you know what? I wanted to introduce you to my friend if it was okay.
Sure.
This is Jean. She's a gray chicken.
I think it's the first time I've had a chicken on my channel.
Exactly. Again, her name's Jean because she's gray. All of our chickens are named after comic characters, but this is Angel's favorite and my least favorite. That's why she's very unhappy right now. But I wanted to make sure that I showed you my pink hat and my gray chicken.
Very nice. So how many other chickens do we have? Oh, that's it. He's gone. We have his pink hat and his gray chicken. I'm not really sure if that's a reference to something, but okay. Thanks, Remy. I appreciate that. We, maybe Jean Grey could come back and maybe I could interview her sometime. You never know what you're going to get when Remy shows up. He could be without a shirt. He could have a chicken. You just never know. So, yeah. I was a little thrown off by having the chicken show up. Yep, StreamYard stream is link is out there. Great chicken. Yes, I think that is the new hashtag. I'm, I'm, I don't know. Maybe it was too early in the morning to see a chicken on YouTube. I'm not really sure. Remy, anytime. Glad that you could introduce us to Gene. So I appreciate that. Maybe we can have some of the other chickens come on sometime as well. So, yeah. So like I said, just kind of recapping for those guys that joined us late. Links down below, a couple different channels to shout it out. Definitely check out Six Face Comics. He is under 100 subs, so definitely want to support him and bump him up. He does a great bunch of unboxing, spec video type stuff. He's always on buying, getting hauls from eBay and other places. So definitely check out his channel. There he is. Good morning, Tyler. How are you? Have you issued your apologies yet? I just wasn't sure. I didn't catch the rewind of the Legion hangout yesterday, so I wasn't sure if you've officially apologized to Comic Journey. Yeah, Six Face is. I mean, I'm every time I watch his content, I'm so surprised at his numbers. Just I would think that his channel would be a lot bigger and more people watching him. So definitely check out his channel if you're not. Yep, Comic Book Community Awards, like I mentioned. We are in the home stretch, 1 week left to vote for the finalists. So please get your votes in if you haven't already. If you have, thank you, and please share it out. Live show December 4th to announce the winners. Couple sponsors on board. My comic shop and Cover Price. So I wanted to kind of mention them and thank them again for their donations to they donated some prizes that will be given away to each of the winners. So I do appreciate their support and check them out. K Titus, there he is. The man who has I have seen more video of him singing in the last 24 hours than I have in the last 2 months. So K Titus, yep. Thanks for all of the shout outs that you do and all of the great songs, original songs that you put together. Really good stuff. Good morning. Thanks for joining. K Titus, yeah, he's in the house. So, cutting off of the voting will definitely be next Saturday. I'm going to try to do it at midnight, kind of end of day for East Coast, so midnight East Coast time. So that you basically have until Saturday the 13th around midnight Eastern time to get your votes in. So, yeah, K Titus does a great job. He's always supporting so many channels, doing shout outs, pointing people to other channels that, have giveaways going on or trying to reach a, subscriber goal. So definitely K Titus, if you're not following him, you definitely need to follow his channel just for the sheer information that he provides within the community, and then the great original songs that he comes up with. And DJ Links just took a couple of those songs and did some remix on it, which is really, really good stuff. Yep. 1 week. Yeah. Get your, this is when you got a campaign. I mean, it was, we had election day this past Tuesday here in the United States. And man, did I get a ton of phone calls leading up to that, and flyers in the mail, candidate promotion. So they were, candidates were out there campaigning hard to get your vote. So I would expect the same in the Comic Book Community Award. So Yeah, I his shout outs are just amazing. It seems like they're off the cuff, like he's just coming up with the songs, and but it's really good stuff. So you definitely need to. Yeah, I'm not sure. I need to go back and catch up on some videos from yesterday. I was on the Legion community hangout in the morning, and then had to jump off to do some other things. So didn't see. There was a little tense moments with Comic Journey and Tyler. So yeah, just running through the chat. Thanks for everybody. Simon, yes, I know, bedtime. Late for you. Mad Spidey was on too. I was surprised to see him up so late. He was up late yesterday on the We Are Legion community hangout with Mark and crew. So yeah, I mean, and I have in another awards life and in a and I think I've mentioned I used to have a blog that I ran for several years, and it was in a different community, personal finance community. And my blog was nominated for their version of the Comic Book Community Awards. There was a different awards recognizing, bloggers in the personal finance space. And I was nominated a few times, and it was just an honor to be nominated with so many other great, blogs and people producing content in that space. And so that was the idea behind the Comic Book Community Awards, was to highlight all of the great channels, creators, content, right? You think of the amount of content that the community produces, quality, entertaining content. Um, so um, I wanted to recognize that, and that was the idea behind the award. So being nominated, should be, at least if I was nominated in any type of an award, I would feel, honored. And then it's really to, like I said, recognize all of this content that everybody's producing. Good morning, Blue. Good morning. And I think, people forget, right? It's for most of us, it's a hobby. We're doing this in our free time. We're not making any money at it. So you're producing, some really great content for people to watch out of, your love for the hobby and for comic books. So it's really, I think it's amazing, right? You have to hit a certain mark, 1,000 subs and a certain amount of hours to become monetized through YouTube, where you can make some money. I think Tyler owes most of us an apology. For what, I'm not really clear on, but I'll take an apology. So so that was really the thought behind the awards, was to recognize this content. Look, I mentioned Free Key Loowee. Look at the scripted character. He's putting on wigs and makeup and getting into character to produce funny content related to comic books. And he's not being paid for this, right? He's taking his free time and doing it it's just the love of the hobby. So it's definitely a something that should be recognized for all of the hard work that everybody's doing. So I appreciate everybody coming in. We've got a bunch of people in here this morning, so I appreciate everybody coming in. So like I said, shout outs below. CBC award information, 1 week left to vote. Winners announced December 4th. Tyler, you're gonna owe him an apology now. Where is what happened to the hashtag pink hat great chicken? Where we lost that? If you guys missed it, if you joined us late, Remy Q jumped in real quick and introduced us to one of his chickens. So if you missed that, you definitely need to go check that out. It was pink hat great chicken. So just definitely check that out. Guys, I don't know. Nobody else wants to jump in with me this morning. I don't know what's going on. You going to make me talk for a full hour here? So, what's going on? What's the big plans for the weekend or rest of your day today? I have got, as I always do, some stuff to do, around the house, that kind of thing. But hopefully, going to catch up on some of my reading, um, some of my, comic book reading that I've missed, and maybe try to catch one of the shows, whether it's Dune, probably Dune. That's easy. I can stream that on HBO Max, and I haven't seen that yet, and I've heard really good things. So, morning, Chop, morning. Rain in Florida. All right. Yeah, I think it cooled off. My daughter is down. She works for Disney down in Orlando, and I know she was happy to have the cooler weather now down there. I don't know if she'll be happy about working out in the rain, but okay, Titus, that would be great. It would be great to have a original song for the Comic Book Community Awards that we can premiere on the night that we announce the winners. That would be outstanding. Cole, good morning. Thanks for jumping in. Spidey's still hanging with us, real late by him. Oh, there's Remy. He's still around. But is his chicken still around? That is the question. Yeah, just going through the chat. Yeah, appreciate everybody jumping in. I think this is going to be my. I think I'm going to continue this. The Saturday morning spot is a good spot for me. I can kind of get it started. Keep it to about an hour, and then get off and go do what I'm doing on for the rest of the day. So this seems to be a good spot. I know it's early for our friends on the West Coast in the States, but it's a good time for me. So I appreciate everybody coming out. We've got 11 people here with us this morning. So there he is. There's Comic Journey. Good morning. Are you on your way to your son's football game this morning? Assuming the season's still going on for you, Comic Journey. Yeah, no, I appreciate it. So, yeah, let me know. Let me know in the chat what you guys got. What's going on for the weekend? Anything comic book related that you guys are up to? Like I said, I've got to catch up on a bunch of stuff, reading, watching. But like I said, I'm trying to stay focused on the Comic Book Community Awards. Not much for me to do right now other than promote the voting. So like I said, last week to vote, so definitely get out there. Yeah, thank you. Yep. Hit that like button. Scott, good morning. Thanks for stopping in. Yeah, like I said, shout outs, links below. Check out those channels. Comic Book Community Awards. We're wrapping up last week. So definitely go vote. I know Comic Journey did a video kind of previewing all of the categories for me last night. So if you haven't seen that, check that out. And he kind of was going through and giving his opinion on the different channels. And actually, we'll probably do that after the voting closes. I'll probably do a preview show and have a few people come on, and we can kind of discuss the categories and the nominations, the finalists in those categories, and kind of discuss it. So I hope they did. I hope everybody votes. I'm sure. Let me take a quick peek at the number of voting, because we were somewhere around just under 500 ballots cast. So let me see if we've got that bumped up with everybody doing some promotion the last few days for me, which I do appreciate. Let me see what we got. Take a quick peek at just how many ballots have come in. So, all right. So well over, we have over 500 now votes that have come in. So when you think about that, each of the ballots when you vote has 11 different categories. So we have over 500. So we're well over 5,000 votes that have come in for the finalists. So that's a really big number. I do appreciate that. I mean, I think that's a good representation of the community. We have 500 different votes that have come in. That is a pretty good representation. And there it is, Comic Journey and the Dashboard Cam. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
How's it going?
It's going very well. No Disney's clouds in the sky today, but hey. It
It's
could be
cool.
worse.
It's cold out there this morning, though, for us.
It is freaking cold. There was frost all over my car when I got out. Yeah,
Yeah.
my windshield wipers are going off.
Are you on your way to another football game?
No more football. Season's over. No playoffs for junior varsity.
Oh, okay.
But you know what? I got work to do. So my real estate season is still going.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, real estate market. I have my niece is a real estate agent out east on Long Island, and I have a good friend who is a real estate agent in Nassau County. Oh, and he just dropped his camera. Dropped his phone.
There you go.
Yeah, and the real estate market has still been crazy.
No, it has been. I don't know. It's been very different. Very, very different. People are not really understanding this market. The supply and demand chain has really, really distorted everything as far as how to be able to operate correctly. Buyers are getting anxious. They're getting angry with sellers for asking for higher prices. Sellers are getting greedy, and there's like a tug of war going on right now. But unless more inventory hits the market, that's not going to change.
Right, right.
So it's challenging. I have clients of mine that I'm explaining to them. If you don't have an urgency and you don't have to move right now, hold off. Be patient. Find the place that works for you. You don't need to buy it and get into the bidding war. But a lot of them they get caught up almost like comics in like FOMO. If I don't buy it now, I'm gonna lose it and never find it again.
Yeah, one of my nieces is looking for a house on Long Island, and she said a few times she's had buyers offer above selling price and waive their the inspection, so they have the final house inspection to make sure things are okay in the house, no structural issues, things like that. That people are now waiving that to be able
Yeah,
to get.
I don't recommend that.
I wouldn't either. I mean, that's
A lot of people are doing that, and I have quite a few deals that have gone through like that. Here's the times where I recommend waiving the inspection. If you're in the business, if you're a contractor, if you could do the work yourself, and you kind of have a really good ballpark of what needs to be done, different story. That will get you in a little quicker. You know what you need to do. It's not as if the inspection could give you any real surprises. If you're buying a dump, you're buying a dump. You're gonna have to redo everything in that type of a mindset. If you're buying something that's a rehab situation that's specifically for a rehab for a flip, again, you know what you're getting into. But for somebody that's a new home buyer, like first time home buyer, and they're going in there with no inspection, no protection, nothing like that, it's not a good situation. I don't recommend it. I really don't.
Yeah, no, because you don't, if you, like you said, if you're kind of the uneducated side of it, you could walk into something with, termite damage, structural damage, a foundation cracked, or, something that now is going to cost you a lot more money. And now you're paying a premium to get into the house. And now you may have additional costs to, fix something that you weren't aware of. So.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. I usually work for myself personally when I'm representing. I'm doing 80 to 85% of the time. I'm a listing agent. I'm handling it for the sellers to market and list their homes. But I see it on the other side. And I'm not saying this to disparage other agents. Like, as nobody knows who I am here. So they don't know what I'm basically I'm not like propping myself up as far as I'm the best or whatever the case is. What I see is a lot of times, a lot of agents don't do their job as far as volunteering the proper stuff for their buyers, protecting them. It's like, it's almost like, let's rush this, get a payday, and move on to the next deal. And I'm just looking at it from a listing agent point of view. I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter to me. I'm here. I'm representing the seller at this point. and I don't really, it doesn't really concern me what happens on the other side, because you're being represented by another buyer, by another agent. They should be doing their due diligence and their work. And they're a lot of people are getting down this rabbit hole, this black hole of like extra expenses and things like that. They shouldn't be. When you're in a hot market and it's a hot commodity and everybody and their mother wants a house, different story. But a lot of the houses that are selling are not that special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If it was a special house, different story. If it was like a Waldorf house or something like that, something like it used to be Teddy Roosevelt's mansion. Hey, all right. There's something special. There's something different. You can't find that again. It's not going to come back on the market again. A regular split or a regular colonial or a ranch, you got to find another one. I promise you.
Yeah, they're all, they're all over the place.
Unless you're in desperate mode where you need to move because you just sold your house and you're homeless, all right, now you're in a desperate situation, you're going to overpay. All right, now I get it. But don't put yourself in that position. That's what I tell people all the time.
All right, looks like it's Starbucks coffee time for you.
Oh yeah, I just did a mobile order. I'm waiting for them to get it ready, and I'm gonna run out, get my coffee, and then get my day started like I normally do. I had a late start today. My little one didn't let go of me before I left the house.
Yeah, you're burning the candle at both ends, right? I see you at 7, 8 o'clock at night and still in the office, and then you're out early. So
yeah, I'm putting in a lot of hours, to be quite honest with you. It's burning me out, but at the same time, like I tell everybody right now, if you don't work now that there's work there, in 6 months from now, 12 months ago, we don't know if there's going to be work.
right.
I've gone through this business's peaks and valleys. I could go through a time period where there's nothing. It's crickets for months. I'm not making a dime, and I'm working, but I'm not making a dime, so because everything
Right.
is commission based.
Yeah, no,
So,
you gotta make the money while you can, right? Yeah.
so you got to go when it's there, because newbies that don't really know the business, they're getting fat and happy, and they're like, oh wow, it's gonna be like this forever. It's not like this forever. I've been in this business for like 20 years, so
Right. Yeah, you have the highs and lows, right? Yeah.
yeah, that's exactly it. It's good. Like what you talk about, financial management and handling your stuff the right way.
Yeah. No, that's you need to do that all the time.
So there's FOMO in real estate. Here's the lesson for everybody. Just like in comics, there's FOMO in real estate too.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So I don't know why we turned into a real estate channel here this morning, but
I
I appreciate the
I'm
insights.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
I
I
think
appreciate the video you did for kind of walking through the comic book community awards, all the finalists, and kind of giving your opinions on it. That was your opinion on it. That was a good video to see, and definitely it looks like that bumped up some of the votes. We were over 500. So
I don't know. People thought I was going to go in there with a different intent when I put it together. I just did a review of the lists. That's it. I had a couple of people like, whose butt are you going to hurt? I'm like, nobody, nobody. The whole
yeah,
point is for people's butts not to get hurt. That's why I'm putting it out there. Go vote, and everybody gets a fair shot to get voted in. Right now I put it out there. Who do you think I should vote for? I know the one that it's a deadlock. I'm probably going to do my vote by Monday, but the one that it's a deadlock that I think with extreme bias that I'm going to be voting for is Jerry the Jitterbug.
yeah. I mean, Jerry, of all the other channels that were other channels that were nominated, he is really focused. I mean, his YouTube channel is really just focused on cleaning, pressing, and restoring books. Some of the other channels, they do a mix of stuff. So if you're just looking at it from an informational standpoint, he's locked in, and he does. I mean, I'm mesmerized at his videos, kind of before and after, and just some of the techniques he's using on on books.
It's not only that, he's like a mad scientist. He's experimenting.
Oh
and,
yeah, yeah.
and he's putting his money where his mouth is. Look what he's doing right now. He's experimenting on his own Hulk 181. That's not a cheap book.
Oh no, I know.
Even if it's a rag of condition, it's not a cheap book. And to go and experiment and put it through these chemical baths, and he's honestly a very rare exception to the community, because there's no agenda with him. Zero. He's
right.
not
No,
selling,
he's sharing all of his techniques. Right. Yeah.
he's not selling anything. He's experimenting. Sometimes when he makes some mistakes, he's bumbling through his mistakes and like working them out and trying to correct them. It's great. Honestly, he by far is the only vote that I could put into this entire award thing without having any reservations, saying this person deserves more than the other. For me, I'm pushing him. And I'm using my entire influence of 175 subscribers that I have to push Jerry. That's
well, and you know what's interesting too is he's just coming off a book where he kind of failed, right? A book where he tried to restore it and get it to where he wanted it, and it was basically he considered it a failure. And so he goes from that book to the Hulk 181, where he cracks it out and now is working on it. So it's just amazing the timeline on his work. Like he that he's taking a chance now on this book after coming off something where it didn't work out. But I think he really saw as a learning experience. He learned a couple things and is now going to refine his technique going forward.
And you can't keep your eyes off of him. You're waiting. Like, honestly, sometimes I'm sitting there. When I first watched his channel, I was thinking a train wreck was going to happen every single every time he did a video.
Right.
He's sitting there putting in these chemical baths, and I'm like, oh my god, this thing's going to fall apart. What is he doing? Like, it's must see TV. That's what I call it.
Oh, definitely.
YouTube TV, whatever it is.
I mean, I had no idea that people, restoration and restoring, they were putting a paper in liquid, like in a bath. I was like, I had never seen that before, even knew it was a thing until I saw it, on Jerry's channel. So
I think that's his thing. I don't know. I've never seen anybody else do that. And I've watched some other channels like that do restoration, and they do some serious work, but they never give out their secrets. That's the other thing.
Yeah, I think I've seen it once or twice with some other channels where they're putting it like in a moisture chamber or moisture,
humidity chambers. I've seen.
Right, humidity, right.
That I've seen, but I've never seen somebody actually put it into a vat of chemicals and just like, let's see what happens.
Yeah, no, it's definitely interesting.
Oh, he's great. He's great. Extreme bias. Extreme bias.
Yeah, no, but that's what's great about the awards is where you might think Jerry is top notch, and somebody else maybe look at one of the other nominated channals and vote for them. So it's
I'm only sharing my opinion. It's my opinion. I'm always right, but it is my opinion. So that's it. I'm purposely not saying there's some channels that I don't want to see win, but I'm not calling them out. When they win, then I'll say I'll cry for recounts, but that's it. Like I don't know. This is supposed to be meant for a really positive thing, and I think if everybody does their thing and votes, I'm getting comments on my last video telling me I just voted. Yeah, good. Go vote.
Yeah, no, definitely seen a small spike in voting over the last 24 hours. So that's good. So, and hopefully the fact that it's we've got a week left, that everybody will, if they haven't voted, will remind themselves that they need to vote. That we're coming down to the end. So there he is. There's Freaky Louie just jumped in. Good morning, Digger Jim. Good morning.
Hey, that's another interesting character, Freaky Louie. He's got some really interesting little clips that he puts together. You saw the thing last night again?
Oh yeah.
He does the whole family. What was it?
Family Matters, Comics Matter.
Yeah, I mean he got some really like interesting concepts that he puts together, and it's
Yeah.
all
Well, and
it reminds me of like almost like a UHF. Remember UHF with Weird Al Yankovic?
yes, yes.
It gives me like that kind of a vibe, the way he mishmashes it and puts it together, and so it's great.
Well,
I
yeah. I
love
mean, you look at his channel, and he's in costume, he's in character, he's got backgrounds. I mean, there's some time being spent to put those, put that video,
it. Well,
the
he's
skits in
spending
that
time
together.
and he's spending money on it. He's actually putting serious investments in time and money for production value.
Oh yeah.
Not like me. Not like me. I point the freaking camera at my hands and I just rant, and that's my video.
Well, yeah, and that was the idea behind the awards, right? Was to recognize that and Freaky's spending his time and own money. He's not being paid, and he's producing this great, funny, entertaining content. So we need to recognize that.
I saw a comment pop up from Digger Jim for a second ago. I don't know what he wrote, but he's got an interesting concept too. This guy goes mining for old metal things and say, like, while he's digging for comics, he's digging for buried treasures. That's a really interesting concept as well.
Yeah,
Definitely
that could
interesting.
be that could be a new category in the 2022 awards. Things comics that you found, underground.
He'd be a sure winner in that one. I'll tell you that much. I don't know how you gonna detect comics with a metal detector unless you get it from the Staples.
Yeah, I was
But,
going to say I don't know if the staple would be picked up. So let me ask you something. If because I have seen a few times I've bought some collections, some collections from people selling, and they were moving. So do you ever run in the real estate business? Do you ever come across people looking to unload stuff because they're selling their house? Have you ever ran across a comic book collection?
once in a blue moon, and I've never. You know what? I always like. Sometimes I see things that are really cool that people are selling off, whether it's comic books, coins, cards, stuff like that. Cars. You got to see some of the cars that people have.
Oh, sure, yeah.
You know, it's really cool stuff. But you know what? I never found it to be professional to turn around and say, you know what? I'll buy these off of you. You hired me to sell your house. I
Right,
don't want
right.
I don't want there to be any kind of weird feeling that I'm trying to take advantage of you because now I have a connection and buy your comics, whatever the case is. You know, I just feel a little weird doing that.
Right. No, it makes sense. But I mean, I'm sure, when you're selling your home and moving away, there's the big purge, right? You're getting rid of a ton of stuff.
All the time, all the time,
Yeah,
all the time. And
yeah, we
if you
see an
want,
opportunity there.
every time I sell something, and they're gonna get rid of a big collection and a garage sale or something, I'll give you a call. You go and we'll find them out. But I don't want to be the one that goes and buys them because I don't want there to be any kind of weird conflict of interest or anything like that. Or I'm hired to do my job the way it needs to be. I've had people offer me stuff and give me stuff just for the hell of it. I got these weird like art pieces that people made themselves that gave me that were really
Oh, really?
interesting. Yeah, I appreciate that, but I never ask and I never try to buy things out and that kind of thing because it's just, I don't know, it's just a weird, thing. I don't like to mix things up like that. There's guys that make a living out of that. That go and sometimes a real estate agent and that's their end to find
Right,
these
right.
collections. It's a little bit of a predatory type of practice, if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah. No, that kind of makes sense. I just really thought of it because I'm, a lot of time I've purchased a few collections like 3 or 4 times, and I think 3 of the 4 times people were moving and they were just looking to unload it because they didn't want to have to lug it to their new home, and a lot of times they were moving out of state and they just didn't want to move the comic books or whatever they were selling.
Well, think of it like this. I got somebody that's 90, 95 years old. They got dementia. They got like 5 milk crates of comics in their attic. They don't know what they have. And I turn around and say, oh my God, look at this. I'll take this off of your hand for $50 or whatever the case is. It's not right, you know.
Right. Yeah. No, I got you. You know, your main goal is to sell, sell their house, not.
And help them.
Yeah.
My point is to help them do what they need to do to get them to the next stage in their lives, and that's it. You know, would it be nice? Would it be great if I go and hoard every single collection I find? Absolutely, but I don't have endless resources as well to buy everybody's collections as well. So that's another thing. The only time you'll see me hesitate, like really, really hesitate, if I see something like uh, a Hulk 181 or something like that, I might be like, oh my God, I really want this. I don't know. If I ever came across something like that, I don't know, I might say, what are you looking for? And like, I don't know. I don't even want to do that because I don't want to negotiate with them. I don't want to haggle with them.
Right. Right.
It
Right.
just makes it, like if they're asking too much, I don't want them, they hired me for something else. I don't want to make them feel bad. Like,
Right.
it's just a weird thing. I don't know. I don't think I would be able to do it.
Yeah. So Mad Spidey said buying collections over here is like winning the lottery. It never happens.
Where's that?
Well, he's
England?
in Mad Spidey. He's in Australia, right?
Oh, he's in Australia. I thought he was in England for some reason. Yeah. Well, I'm sure there's collections over there. There's gotta be.
Yeah. Yeah. But I found though too is that so many people are aware of it now, right? If you look on Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, things like that, everybody's buying and selling, looking for collections. So there's so many people that are aware of it now that it's harder to, track those things down.
Yeah, everybody thinks they have gold. That's the problem.
Right. Right.
They
Well,
go
that's the
and
other
look
problem.
they
Everybody
go and
has a
look
little
at
bit of information. They think every comic is worth,
they
Hulk
go and look
181 money.
they go and look on eBay and see what people are asking for, not what they're selling for, what they're asking for, and
Right.
say, well, this is what it's going for. Yeah, well, that's not what they're selling for, but
Right.
I'm not going to argue with it. Every so often, I'll stop, like, on my drives. This is what I do. Sometimes when I'm scanning neighborhoods or I'm driving from appointment to appointment and I got some time to kill between, and I see a garage sale, like today is Saturday, typical garage sale day, yard sale
Right.
day.
Right.
I got a few appointments, and I got like half-hour breaks, 45-minute breaks between things. If I end up seeing something on my way from one house to the other, or whatever the case is, I'll stop. I'll take a look at it. One, I want to see, are these people selling their house? Because that's key for me. Because if they're ready to sell the house and they haven't put it on the market, hey, I wouldn't mind selling the house. And at the same time, if that's not the case, I'll take a look at what they have. And
Right.
sometimes I find a lot of different weird comics and stuff. Like, I find Golden Age stuff all the time in these collections, which I love. Like, I love the old Golden Age stuff. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it's romance. It doesn't matter if it's horror, war. I love all that stuff.
Right. Right. Yeah. You never
So,
know. People start cleaning out basements and attics that you never know what you're going to find. Right.
yeah, you go into Levittown where, it's an old military town. Like, everybody, we're all originally that bought those houses were all military. You see some crazy war books in those houses. Some really, really great collections. But the thing I've noticed is some of the garage sale people are like, well, what do you want to sell it for? Like, they ask you, what are you willing to pay for it?
Right. Right.
Whatever the case is. The smart people, they put a price on it, whatever it is, and that's it. And maybe they'll negotiate a little bit and you buy more, whatever the case. But then you got the other people that are sitting there and they have like a list and they're looking at what last listed on eBay for how much.
Right. Right.
And they're trying to get those prices at a yard sale. And I'm like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. A book that's been sitting in a crusty bag in the basement for 20 years. Yeah.
You got to get serious. Like, I love to be able to buy this stuff, but I'm not buying at those prices. Not a chance.
Right.
I ran into one during the WandaVision days, like when everybody's freaking out the Vision or whatever the case is. The guy had the West Coast Avengers. He put a $500 price tag on his West Coast Avengers number 45, and I'm like, I don't even know how to respond to that.
No,
And
that's how you respond.
it wasn't encapsulated. It wasn't anything like that. I don't know. It just people have their own perceptions of what they need to do. It's
Right.
funny though. It's funny. It's a social experiment. You see, how people react to different things.
Yeah, no, it's certainly interesting, but we're almost kind of out of yard sale season for us here, right? It's getting too cold to be out.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
What's in a while you have one of those coops. They do it in the middle of winter. I know you've seen one of them.
Oh yeah.
Out of nowhere in the middle of snow, they're sitting and doing yard sales. I'm like, oh man. No,
Yeah,
and at the same time, people are still selling. And sometimes they'll just do it sporadically in the middle of winter because, like, I just need to get rid of it. Well, I'm going to put it all on my driveway, and if I don't sell it, it's going straight to the street after that.
right.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, I mean, I've had yard sales. We've done. Oh, like we've got a bunch of crap we want to get rid of. We'll do a yard sale, and then whatever we don't sell goes right to the curb for garbage.
No, what I'm saying is you'll see that happen and pop up in the middle of winter out of nowhere. You say, where did this come from? And it's just because they're like, I got to throw it out anyway.
Right.
Having it
Yeah.
on my
No, try
driveway
to sell it before you throw it away. Right.
Yeah, that's the mentality a lot of people have.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, that's how I first got started on eBay was, I'd be looking around, we'd be getting rid of something and I'd be like, well, can I sell that before maybe I can make 15, 20 bucks as opposed to just throwing it away. And that's how I initially, any like old electronics, phones, things like that. That was, I started doing that like 20 years ago on eBay.
That's what I don't do it. Not even close to the levels that you do it on eBay. Like every so often, I'll throw things on to eBay that either I really have no need for, no interest in anymore. I have a duplicate of. For some reason or another, I have like a comic or a baseball card or something that catches fire for one bizarre reason or another, and I have no personal attachment to. I'll throw it on there and get rid of it. But that's
Right.
it. I can't. I have no patience for the eBay. What you do is you gotta have patience because dealing with some of these crazy eBay buyers.
Yeah. Yeah.
and,
Well, the
and
one
the,
thing I like about selling on eBay is that it is low maintenance because you list something and you leave it. Sometimes you get questions, but like I find people that are sell on Instagram and like DM me for price and
oh,
information.
that's work.
And I've
It's
done a little bit of
unorganized.
that. I did my mystery box, and it was like I was constantly had to repost it and update it. With eBay, it's kind of set it and forget it, and that's what I like about it. Because I could post a listing today, and if it doesn't sell, it could stay up there for months before it sells. But I've only done the work once, and I don't have to message back and forth 100 times with somebody on, direct message, things like that. So,
Well, the other thing is somewhat protected. There's a lot of buyer protections on eBay, but there's also some seller protections on eBay
oh
as
yeah,
well.
yep,
You don't have to worry about credit cards. You don't have to worry that they do all that stuff for you. What I
right,
don't like is that they charge you through the nose just because it's a comic or something like that.
yeah.
Like,
No, their fees are pretty high. Yeah.
why are
No,
they
because I
charging
had a
like?
situation where I sold something to somebody, shipped it, it was tracked, it was priority mail. It said it was delivered. Postman left it on the doorstep, and the guy's like, "Oh, I never got it." And he opened up a claim, but it was closed because it clearly had tracking and it clearly showed it was delivered by the post office, and that was end of story. If somebody stole it off his porch, that's I can't do anything about that, and they closed the case because he was looking for like a full refund.
Yeah, that's the kind of protections you get through eBay.
Yeah,
As a seller. And that's why I would do that rather than do the Instagram. And besides that, I don't want to deal with people through Instagram and stuff like that. Like, like I don't want people knowing where my house is and whatever the case is. Like, giving my addresses out. I don't know. There's a lot of freaky people out there. Like, there's not a lot of nice people in the community, but there's some people that are freaking creepy. I don't
Well,
want
yeah, I mean, and I recently did the mystery box on Instagram, but probably 8 of the 10 mystery boxes I sold were all people, in the community that I knew. There were 2 people that I didn't. I think they were just random from Instagram, which was fine. But it was nice that 8 out of the 10 I was selling to somebody I knew, that I know through the community.
I mean, like I did one of those mystery boxes. I think you've noticed that recently I just switched over to a PO box, and I do that for all my mailing. Why?
Right,
Because
right.
it's better that way. And I had people that would contact me and say, "I want to send you this." Like I'm like, I don't want you to send me anything. Thank you, I appreciate it, but I don't want you to send me. But they're insisting, please send you. And then I don't want to offend them, so I'm like, you know what? I gotta put a PO box together. If anybody wants to send me anthrax or something like that, send it to the post office first. Let them let them deal with it, and then if they don't die, then I'll be okay. Then I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I know a lot of people have in the community that get AOKs. Some of them send it to their home address. Others have, and I've seen it quite often where they have, a PO box, which is, it's not a bad idea. That's a good idea.
I did that for a lot of different reasons. Like there was a lot of stuff. Like I do a radio show too, and people like send me all this kind of stuff. Like especially like for advertisers and stuff like that, they want to send me stuff. It was just getting too much sending it to the office or to the house. So I just decided PO box is the way to go for all my mailings. That's it.
Right, right. No, that's a good idea.
It works out the best. I can't see if there's anybody commenting or anything like that because I'm like on the streamline format. Is anybody commenting or is there
No,
anybody?
everybody's just kind of checking in. We got like 10 people in the chat there. Just everybody's saying hello to everybody.
Look at
Mark
this.
from Sleeping Comics just said he needs to set up a PO box. Yeah, I think definitely if you're going to be doing certainly as your YouTube channel grows and if you're getting AOKs things like that, the PO box is probably a good way to go.
Well, it's not only that. If you're buying stuff from people or like you're interacting in one way where you're gonna have mail correspondence, you never know. You just never know
Oh
who
yeah.
you're dealing with.
Yeah, and Planet Arizona Comics said, as a post office employee, I can tell you it's super easy to set up a PO box.
Oh, absolutely. It took me 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's and then that way you're not you can check it every couple of days or once a week, and then you've got some a great content for a video. Do a haul video, right?
If I was standing in this position 2 days ago, the light was out here. I'm on Jericho Turnpike, and the light was out in this spot. You got to see, it was like a freaking one of these. You got to grab popcorn and see how people are dodging accidents and stuff like that. It was insane.
Yeah,
Absolutely
well, that
insane.
looks like a major intersection. Yeah, you got multiple lanes, so yeah, light out would be take your life into your own hands.
Oh my god, it was nuts. It was entertaining, but it was nuts and scary. Oh, there's Slim on there.
Yeah, we got a
Oh,
bunch of people. We got Man
only,
Spidey
only,
still hanging
only,
out.
only
Chips
you could
here.
get, Brian. Only you could get like all of us to actually tune in early in the morning with you on a Saturday.
I like the I like the breakfast with Brian label that you gave the show. So I might have to do a promo with me, eating some cereal or drinking, having some waffles or something.
There you go. You ever remember that old Andy Kaufman movie, Breakfast with Lassie?
Oh yeah, yeah.
You can take an approach like that.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, no, like I said, this is a good time for me. It's kind of before I get my day. Typically weekends I'm running errands, doing stuff around the house, that type of thing. So it's like it's good an early morning stream, kind of get it, out of the way, and I can go on with the rest of my day. So I don't have to feel like I'm, drawn to the computer to watch content or produce content. So it is a good
And typically for me, it works well on a Saturday because my appointments on Saturdays usually don't start lining up until after 11:30. So
yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
I get some downtime in the morning.
Yeah, well, you must be, weekday evenings and then weekends are probably your busiest, right? Everybody else.
Well, I do a
Typically, if you're
heavy
buying
amount
a
of
house,
commercial work.
you're at work during the day. So
Monday through Friday, I do a heavy amount of commercial work. You know, besides running my own team, I also I'm the director of commercial operations for our
Okay.
company as well. So I got a lot of interaction that I do on a daily basis. So with commercial, dealing with landlords, leasing, that kind of stuff. So I'm busy. Like I'm really busy. Like you might not think it because I hop in and out, but I'm like a multitasker. I'll be doing like 10 things at the same time. And sometimes I'll have a video on just to drown noise in the background,
Right,
and
right.
and something will pop in my ear, and I'm like, okay, let me put a comment on that, and then I'll go back to work and that kind of thing.
Right.
So you know,
Well, yeah, no, I think I mentioned it before. A lot of times, like if I'm doing stuff around the house, I'll carry around my iPad and I'll throw on one of the long form interviews. Like the Jimmy DeDon does the 10 questions or Scott's 7.5 questions. Those are the kind of things that you don't really need to be watching the video. You can kind of just listen to it. So
yeah, you know how many times I fall asleep and the phone's next to me and there's a video going on, and I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh my god, this thing was playing all day, all night. And like you see all the videos that I went through. It's good for the community members. It's good for the people that want the views and the
right,
watch
yeah, the
hours
watch
and stuff like
hours, right?
that. So I don't mind doing that, but a lot of the times I'm on, I'm halfway on. I'm not really 100% focused.
Right.
I'm doing other things at the same time, but there's too much content out there. I can't keep up with it.
Oh, I know. I know. It's a struggle. There's so much content, so many good channels and stuff to watch. It's you gotta find the balance. Yeah.
Like right now, I'm sorting through everything. That's why I said I'm gonna have to do this within the next couple of weeks as far as doing these spotlights, because there's just so much stuff that's out there, and I need to kind of like range and see where do I start and how do I continue, because like who's gonna be the first video that I do a spotlight on? That when I
Right.
get butt hurts. Why'd you choose him? Why did you choose him? Why did you choose him? You know, probably, probably I'll probably start off with Gary B. I think I'm leaning off with him because he was one of these people that started that grow together movement.
Right. Right. The Grow Together initiative. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll probably start with him and see and take it from there after that. But I want to start off with the people that are real contributors to the community, and then getting into the crap after that, like the channels that are useless for me personally.
Right.
So like,
Right.
I'd rather give the people that deserve accolades the recognition first, and then the people that are like there's a lot of videos out there and a lot of channels out there that I watch, and I'm like, well, what did I get out of this? Like, there's
Right.
nothing. Like,
Right.
like it's not a bad video. The guy is not a horrible person. It's just boring. It's just like there's nothing. He's giving me like generic crap, and it's like like how would you like it if I all I did was read a go collect list or a cover price list and say that's your weekly top 10. Like it's boring. Give your insight. Give your 2 cents about what do you think about that. All right, Adam Warlock is going berserk. What do you think? All
Right.
right, it's,
Yeah.
it's the hottest
No, well,
thing.
that's why I find your stuff is always interesting because you're really, you're giving your opinion, right? You're very strong on your opinion, and so it makes it interesting because yeah, some people are just very, kind of wishy washy, or they're just regurgitating, like you said, a top 10 list from some app or a comic app or something like that. So yeah.
And that bores the hell out of me. And then I got the other people that go on there and they all they do is like you could see it's super transparent. All they do is hype up books with the sheer reason that they have a short box full of them that they want to unload, and you could see right through
Oh
it.
yeah. Well, there definitely is a section of the community that is really, it's their business, right? They're buying and flipping books. They're doing auctions all the time. There's
And,
a
and if
there's
you're
a
straight
handful of
about it,
channels that that are just that.
and if you're straight about it, and you say I run a business, this is what I do for a living, and I'm selling these things. I also have a website, whatever. Great. I appreciate that so much more than being like some guy that pretends like I'm trying to help the community. I want you to, I want you to buy this so you can make money the same way I'm making money, and blah 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 blah. And meanwhile, it's some like Weasley guy that's living in his basement with like short box full of Adam Warlocks that they want to push them. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, no, definitely. Like Gary B, the not the casual comic guy, very Gary Comics.
Okay,
It's really his business. He buys, sells, flips. He had a table at New York Comic Con.
yep,
He was up at Terrific Con in Connecticut. He does auctions all the time. It's very clear. It's a business for him. He's looking to try to make money. And
absolutely, and I
but when I
respect that.
watch
He
his
does.
channel, he
He
does a
does
lot
awesome.
of unboxings of his CGC stuff, or he just had a video where he sent books in to get restoration removed from books and then see what their new values are. But it's very clear it's a business for him.
With him, actually, what entertains me more than anything else is the actual books that he pulls out. Like the entertainment value of what he's telling me, I'm not that like driven by. But the fact that he pulls out these really great like books that he gets out of nowhere or gets from these
Right.
collections and stuff like that, that's what engaged me. As far as if I was just listening to him, he's a nice guy from what it sounds like. He's running a business. I wouldn't be entertained by it. But those books that he pulls out, because he pulls out stuff that you don't see from other people.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Another guy that pulls out insane books, insane comics like you've never seen before. Two guys actually, um, Automatic Comics and the Hoarder, well, Alex the Comic Hoarder. Those two guys pull out some stuff like you've never seen before from the golden era, silver. Oh my God, these books like I've never held one of these books in my hands before.
Right. Right.
And I like that. Like I like to see stuff I've never seen before, stuff that's like a grail for a lot of people or like impossible to find.
Right.
Uh,
Right.
because I'm I got some decent price books, but I don't have anything like that. Not even close to those
Yeah,
kind of.
no, that's certainly the interesting piece, like of watching like an unboxing or somebody unveiling a collection, right? It's books that maybe you have interest in, or like you said, you've never seen before. Yeah, it's certainly
And
interesting.
how they find them. That's the other thing. They like, where did you find that?
Oh yeah, yeah,
That's the value I get on a lot of those other channels. Like, and they're good, but you can only have X amount of those. You
right,
know, Gary's a good one. He has a lot of stuff like Alex the Comic Order, Automatic Comics. They get some really 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 good stuff like you've never seen before. But there's other guys that they just show you like, hey, I got an X-Men 200. Okay, tell us about it.
right, right.
No, I just got it. They're just showing you off stuff. Like it's like show and tell. Like look at me, look what I got. And like I've been making fun of that lately, and making fun of myself sometimes whenever I pull it out. And I apparently people like that as far as like look what I got kind of a thing. But I really like I try to go through everything that I get on a weekly basis and explain why my method of why I bought this
Right.
comic
Well,
or
why'd you pick it up? Yeah.
tell me just so like I don't like show and tell like a lot of people are just doing the show part of it and not the tell part of it.
Right, right.
Like when I see you pop out a Spider-Man, I know you have a sickness for Amazing Spider-Man regardless if it's good or not, you know. And you talk about the story a little bit, and that actually got me to buy some issues of Amazing Spider-Man. I'm
All
not
right, good.
particularly I'm not particularly thrilled so far, but I'll stick it through for a couple months and see what happens. Honestly, I think I'm gonna wait it out on a lot of these weekly books that come out for Amazing Spider-Man because I guarantee you I'm gonna find them in 50% off bins within the 2 months from now.
Yeah, could be. I mean, so far the new team who's been writing is doing, it's a better story than the previous run, but it's only like 3 issues in, so it's or 4. So it's tough to say, if they're If it looks like it's heading in the right direction, but time will tell.
That's why I'm giving it a shot.
Yeah, I mean,
That's
if there's
exactly
certainly
what I did.
if there's a point you want to jump in on Spider-Man, this would be the time, right? Because it's kind of a new story arc, a new team. This would be the time to give it a chance to see if it's something you want to stick with.
Yeah, issue 75, I think, is the issue to
Right.
start with.
Yep. 75. Yeah.
Which
Yes,
annoyed me.
and there's a lot of people. Sleeping just said he gave up Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man 2 or 3 years ago, and there's a lot of people that are in that boat. But
I don't blame him because, like, I jumped back in last year, back into like reading new comics, and I picked up Amazing Spider-Man thinking I was going to get my Spider-Man. It's not my Spider-Man. No, it's not the one I like. It's not the writing I like. It's just I don't know. Like it doesn't feel right when I'm reading it. It doesn't connect with me.
Well, yeah, I mean, the one thing I found when I jumped back in, because I hadn't read Spider-Man in 15, 20 years probably, when I got back into reading it and I picked it up with the Gleason run, it was to me it felt like the same old Spider-Man, like he hadn't moved forward in like his personal life, and that was like, man, he's still down on his luck. He can't pay his rent. Like, when is that going to change for him? Like when? I mean, I know that's the core of his character, but you would think at some point he'd mature a little bit and not have those same type of issues that he was having when he was, 18 or 19.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I started going back to like back issues and starting to read stuff like with the whole one last day things and stuff like that.
Right.
And I think that might have been like the beginning of the end for what the Spider-Man we knew was, maybe somewhere around that, like around that period.
Oh, right.
Because
Okay. Yeah.
part of the thing that made Peter Parker somewhat relatable was the fact that he always had Mary Jane to go to, no matter what. He always had.
Right.
We all knew Aunt May was going to die one day. She's old. She's not going to. The last thing I want them to do is put a super soldier serum in Aunt May and make her live forever.
Right.
And so like that's part of the change, but you can't take away Mary Jane from him and that stuff.
No, she's kind of his, person that grounds him, right? But Legion asked, he said, do you think characters should be tailored to longtime readers or try to aim for younger readers? The way I would answer that would be, you can't really mess too much with Spider-Man or like Superman or Batman because they have such a long history that no matter what you do with that character, if you try to take him too far or change him too much, you're going to upset the base of fans that they've had for 40, 50 years. I think if you're going to make, if you want to aim for or attract younger readers, I think you have to make changes or have characters that are more relatable to them, to younger readers. Like my children, my 3 kids, they don't like some of the same things I like. They may want to see more diverse characters. That's what I think you're seeing, like with Superman, where now his son, comes out, bisexual, or because that's more relatable maybe to a younger reader. But if you did that to Superman, Clark Kent, the world would be on fire because the people that read him for 40 or have been a fan of him for years, 20, 30, 40 years, would be so upset with it. So,
well, how would Lois Lane feel?
Yeah, exactly.
But like I agree. I agree. It has to be a meeting of minds and a good balance of being able to retain older readers and younger readers at the same time. Because let's be honest, who has the most money that spends on comics? It's the later generation readers. It's not
sure.
it's not the 15-year-olds. it's the 30, 40, 50, 60-year olds that are still buying heavy duty loads of comics
Right.
and actually have disposable income to do that. So you can't violate that group. You have to give a little bit of everything for a lot of different groups. Like I noticed something that they did with I just recently started reading the 2015 Secret War series,
Okay.
and it's not what I knew as Secret Wars, like from the 80s.
Right. Right. The original. Right. Yeah.
But I could appreciate that because it pulled in certain elements to it by making it completely new. So like there's different things. What you said about Son of Kal-El and Superman. Let's get the controversy out of the side, or whatever the case is. The I like the fact that they're keeping them kind of their adventures separately somehow. And he's the father figure. He's the other one's the son figure. I think there's a good dynamic, and I think they could actually pull that off if they do it the right way. They could actually um, make that really, really work for many years to come. I think that there's something to that.
Yeah, but but if they change, and I think that's the point, right? You don't want to. You can keep now Superman as more of like you said, a father figure and a an older, wiser superhero, and now he can help his son, who's dealing with things that he's never dealt with.
Well, think about it. If they keep like Superman with his main cores of like the 30s and 40s and 50s values, that's where he started from. That's where his core is, right? He kept him with that core, and then you have his son that is modern era type of mindset, and like
Right.
things are different, and you have that constant struggle between the two. Well, you're old boomer and you're a millennial, like whatever the case. Like yeah, I think there's something really good that they could make out of that. I think that I bought those issues. I bought the first one because I liked the homage that they had for Superman one. That was before that they did the whole controversy thing.
Okay.
And then when the controversy thing, I'm like, you know what? Let me pick up this whole thing just in case the thing goes $1 billion, because everybody wants to buy it. So let me buy it, and I got 1 through 4, and I read them all. It's not a bad read. It's actually entertaining. I see a kid pick it up and really get into it. Same thing goes with Spider-Man though. Like you got a Peter Parker. That's for the millennial. That's for the older generation.
Right, and you got
You got
Miles for
you got Miles that is bringing in the new readers. There's a meeting of minds. There's a way to be able to mesh the two without violating one or the other.
right.
The Robin things, like look how many Robins there have been. There's been a Robin for every generation. Think about it like that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. No. And you think of them the Robins, all the different Robins, but then that can be more relatable to younger readers as opposed to old man Batman and his $1 million.
But it works. You need the old man, the gritty old man,
Oh, definitely.
Batman, billionaire. You need a young kid. You need the young punk that he's trying to groom. Like it works. It really works. I don't like what they did with Tim Drake. To be quite honest with you, because he was already established. Like I don't like taking 30, 40-year-old characters, which Tim Drake was, and completely like changing his whole like lifestyle out of nowhere as
Right.
a
Right.
gimmick. Superman, Son of Kal-El, I didn't have a problem with, even though a lot of people had a problem with, because he's a new character.
Right.
You haven't developed him yet.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
only been around for what,
No
three,
long
4 years?
history that readers can potentially be upset with.
That's exactly it. It's like if you're telling me, the Hulk is now, he's well, I don't know. The Hulk, he's into aliens and everything. He's like into everything. So I'm not going to include him. But you take like a character, like a strong, core character, and you change his like Captain America, make him buy it. Like if you want to do something really, really bold, all right, go turn around Steve Rogers and make him into gay. and let's see how the reaction happens
Oh
at
yeah,
that.
they would.
You can't do that. Like
No,
it's a
too,
character
too
that's
much
been
history. Too much
established for
history in those characters. Yeah.
there's too many years and decades of history on a certain character to be able to turn around and just change them dramatically. You could
But
do it with newer characters.
yeah, and there's been enough young characters introduced, over the last, 15, 20 years that you could, or you introduce, a brand new character that maybe is, diverse in different ways than some of the older, characters.
Yeah, I mean, there's ways to do it. You just gotta get creative. Don't go for the gimmick dollar, because I feel like a lot of times they go for the gimmick dollar. Go into the creative writing, do it the right way. There's a place for everything everywhere. Whether you're gay, straight, bi, pansexual, into bestiality. There's a comic for you anywhere.
So Legion said, as long as Steve is gay for America, he's in.
There you go. There you go. But look at it like a story, like a character, a stature type of character, like Captain. Look what they did when he went and turned into Hydra guy. Everybody freaked out.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I went back and I started reading that Empire stuff. It's not as bad as people made it out to be. I get the backlash that they made him into a Hydra agent. And like to erase all the previous history was kind of stupid for them to want to do.
Right.
But they're correcting it, I think, right now. So
yeah, well, I think that's the issue with a character that has had, been around for 40, 50 years, right? You've got the different writers and creators that come on and then try to make an impact with the storyline and then change things and rock the boat, upset people, and then they, retcon it. And it's just, it's just the way it is, right? When you have a character that has lived, who's been around for so long, you're going to have highs and lows of the storyline.
You want a character that has long time history that you could dramatically change his sexuality with? Wonder Woman. You could easily do that. She's got the Amazonian background. It's believable.
Right.
That she could be bisexual or lesbian or whatever the case is. It's believable. Like her history and the way it is, even though she's been with men or whatever the case is, she does have that Amazonian background. And historically, that's been the thing with Amazonians. So, they could pull that off. It makes sense. You don't have to revamp the character and make it fit in.
Right.
It wouldn't be that much of a shock factor, at least not to me. Like maybe people that like to poke at anything and make everything into like a controversy, they'll probably say anything about anything. But
right. Well, yeah, I'm sure you'd upset some people by that.
But I'm sure, but there's people that like there's characters that are off limits. Like it doesn't make like you can't touch them. You can't change their dynamic because it just doesn't make sense.
All right. Well, I think I'm going to wrap it up. I've gone an hour and a half. So
that's good because I got to get my coffee. It's probably
I was going to say your coffee's probably getting cold at this point.
No, I got iced coffee, so I'm good.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, you're good.
But the ice cube are melted. So thank you for having me on.
Yep.
Thanks
for jumping in. I appreciate it.
Thanks for letting me ramble. I brought you ratings. I brought you viewers. I brought you stuff. You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Remy Q brought his chicken on earlier, and then you followed up with Comic Journey. So live stream doesn't get any better than that.
I got to rewind to the beginning after. I haven't seen the beginning. When I jumped on, it was about the time that I got on.
Yeah, definitely. It was about maybe 10 minutes in, 15 minutes in that Remy and his chicken made an appearance. So,
Anachronic, by the way, I'm just going to leave off on one last thing. He's got a great channel, and I love the perspective he has. Because he's one generation past me.
Oh yeah, Joe's got he's got such knowledge and history, with comic collecting. Before I was born, I think, he was collecting in the 60s. So yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge. He's got a good. I really enjoy watching his stuff.
great, like really, really great. Like he blew my mind when I saw him pulling out comics out of folded mailers.
Oh yeah,
Like
yeah.
I was like, what the hell is this? Like I didn't even know that they used to come like that. I mean, that was that you know, I appreciate that channel a lot, a
Oh
lot.
yeah, yeah.
It's
No,
not
that
because he's
was,
on there.
and I think that was a stack of books that he found in a box that he forgot he had, and he showed some books off that he didn't even remember that he had. So that was that he had a great bunch of videos around that.
Well, he's getting old. He's not gonna remember everything now. So
Yeah, I have trouble remembering stuff too sometimes. So
I'm getting there too. I gotta write everything down. By the way, Legion, thanks again for letting me hop on yesterday, and sorry for going a little off on my situation with Tyler.
yeah, no, the Legion hangout is always good on Fridays, right? That's
It
always
is.
good.
I just can't stand that kid Tyler. He's annoying me. But
All right, let's why we can all get along.
no, no, we can't.
All right, everybody except you
Everybody
and
except
Tyler.
for Tyler. All right, guys.
All right,
Talk to you soon. Thanks for letting me jump on.
all right. Thanks. Have a good day.
You too.
All right, take care. So I'm going to just wrap up real quick. Did some shout outs early on. All of the links are down below. Please check out those channels. Comic Book Community Awards last week to vote. So definitely go out. And if you haven't voted it, please vote or just remind everybody else. So voting closes next Saturday, the 13th, November 13th. And then the live show where we announce the winners December 4th. December 4th, 9 p.m. Eastern, we will crown all of the winners from the 11 different categories. So, yep, go out and vote. But thanks, guys. Thanks for everybody who jumped in today in the chat. I appreciate Comic Journey jumping on, Remy making a quick appearance with his chicken, Gene. So I do appreciate that, guys. Thanks very much. Have a great rest of your day, great weekend, and we'll see you back here definitely next Saturday for my next live stream. So Dave, thanks. You voted. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day.